Hi, it's Leah here today, and today we're going to do an update on loan protection. So I've got Fiona, who's our guru here in Adelaide about loan protection, joining us. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So I just thought we'd do a bit of an update today of what is loan protection and why do we use it. So firstly, Fiona, who is ALI?
So ALI is a specialist loan and mortgage protection insurance provider that deals exclusively with mortgage brokers. We are just about to celebrate our 16th birthday. And we were created 16 years ago exclusively for mortgage brokers to help them protect their clients. And still today, that's our primary focus is helping mortgage brokers.
Excellent. So anyone that's ever come to do a home loan here at Blackfish would have heard of loan protection. We certainly offer it to all of our clients when they're doing their loan contract signing. So could you just explain what is loan protection?
So loan protection depends on the provider, what their product looks like, but our particular product, ALI, is a product that's made up of three core components. The first component is some life cover, which tops up your, if you do have any life cover within your super. Typically people have some, but it's often not enough. So we provide some life cover that when you're taking out a loan, it means you can top that up. Then secondly, we have some trauma cover, which is typically missing from the cover you have within your super. So that's the sort of cover that kicks in if you have a diagnosis of cancer or have a heart attack or stroke, those common things that we hear about that people have. And then thirdly, we have some unemployment cover. So, we all know someone that's been made redundant or lost their job, and we provide some assistance to bridge that gap between losing their job and finding a new one.
Okay, excellent. And you said there's also some very interesting statistics around people getting advice, how they're getting advice, and also with finance brokers offering loan protection. What do you see works best in practice?
Yeah, so ideally the best case scenario would be that everybody sits down with a financial planner and gets full advice. That's where financial planners are the experts in sitting down with people, doing a full review of their needs and doing a statement of advice. Unfortunately though, Australians don't typically sit down with a financial planner, even though they should. So it leaves a big gap, and that's where ALI has a unique opportunity with mortgage brokers. You guys are sitting down with them to do their home loans so that the conversation comes up about their finances and about what risk protection they've got. So through our general advice offering with our ALI product, you've got that opportunity to have a conversation with people, excuse me, where they otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to be protected.
Yeah, that's right. And we certainly see in our office, we do offer it to all of our clients, and they actually have to say no and write down that they don't want it, and that they've thought about the risk of not having it. But for me, it's a really good introduction. We do have financial planning here at Blackfish, so it's a good stopgap, if anything. And sometimes financial planning does take a long time to get cover. So I certainly think people are crazy not to have some cover in place. Personally, I've seen it in my family and our friendship circles of people getting sick, and certainly it's not the older generation, it's the younger generation. So why do you see people taking home loan protection?
I think that there's brokers out there that do refer to financial planners. So a lot of mortgage brokers do acknowledge that it's important to have that conversation. Where I think that Blackfish do it really well is you not only, as you said, have the financial planning, but you also give your clients the opportunity to have a product like ALI that does fill the gap until they are ready to sit down with full advice. And I think that's unique because like I said, some mortgage brokers will, just refer to that financial planner, and if the customer doesn't go ahead, they actually end up with nothing. Yeah. Whereas because you guys have both options, you recognise the importance of full advice, but then you also offer the ALI offering so that your customer can have some cover until they sit down and get that full advice. It means that no one slips through the cracks, and I think that's, as I said, really unique to Blackfish, and that's why you guys have such a good success rate of ensuring your clients are protected.
Yeah, and certainly, if we do hear a story about any of our clients, the first thing we do is check if they said yes or no to ALI, because we do want to jump in and try and help when we do hear a horror story. And how have you seen it help clients? It's obviously a part of your day today when you do see that happen.
Yeah, so I say that it's the best and the worst part of my job because obviously, it's tragic when we hear the stories. We hear regularly stories of young people with cancer, heart attack, stroke, And whilst it is really tragic hearing these stories, it's also a sense of relief knowing that that mortgage broker that partners with us to offer our product can have that conversation with their client and let them know that they are covered. So I think that, you know, those mortgage brokers, that's again something that sets them apart, because like you said at Blackfish, you go and if something happens to your client, because things happen, you can go to your file and check, you know, it wouldn't be did we have the conversation, because you know that every file we did, and therefore it's a matter of did the client say yes or no. So I think that, you know, that's really important that you guys do that, and it does make such a huge difference.
Yeah. And I think, and another thing I do say to my clients is how often, literally every day, I see a GoFundMe page on social media. So every time I see that, I just think far out, they have not got insurance, they haven't got products. A good friend of mine was recently talking to our financial planning team. He's like, oh, do you think I need it? And I said, you literally share a GoFundMe page this morning for one of your friends who is sick and really needs some financial help. And I'm like, far out, I hadn't put two and two together. So certainly for me, it's a no-brainer. You need to have something in place, whether it's with us or anywhere else. So thanks for giving us an update. I think you guys got a really good product. For my office, you know, we can quote our clients really quickly and easily. It does make them think about what would we do. So I think it's really good. It's not a hard process or an expensive product. So I think it's great. So thanks for giving us an update on loan protection.
Thanks for having me.
And if you've got any questions about loan protection, whenever we do a home loan for you or a home loan review, it is something that we can have a chat to you about. So if you want to have a chat about it, drop us a line or an email, and we look forward to helping you soon. Have a good day.